What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now I'm super excited to bring this video to you today because this is something that I've been working towards for a long time. I just bought my first home and I'm going to be making this my first rental property. What we're going to do is show you the house, show you the property, and then show you the neighborhood, and then show you all the things we're doing on the inside to bring it up to date, and then specifically show you the neighborhood and why I chose this to be an area where I would live in for a little bit and then make my first rental property. It's gonna be super cool. Can't wait to show you. Stay tuned. So first things first, this is like a little back street, and to be honest, it's a very quiet street, okay? Now behind the house, there's going to be a lake that I'll get to showing you in a second. What we have here is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, about a 1,700 square foot ranch, okay? What we're gonna do is walk around this property first, kind of show you what's going on. All right, so as we get over here to the backyard, believe it or not, this house has one of the biggest backyards like on the whole block, okay? So this property has a pretty high value because it has the biggest backyard around. Since we're right next to the lake, if I zoom in over there, nobody has good property except this house right here. So good thing I got it, right? So the backyard's pretty massive in comparison to anything else that you can find in the area, okay? Now something really cool is back here. It's a really big storage shed, okay? If you live off a lake, you're gonna have paddle boards, tubes, and other things to hang out on the lake. And it's a really, really big shed. Now, you could really turn this into a man cave. It has electricity. It has everything already wired in here. So if you want to bring TVs or anything, essentially we could do that. And it's also got a lot of storage up there. Like I said, living off of a lake, you're gonna need some storage. Since this house does not have a garage, this back shed is an absolute necessity. The other cool thing is right next to the shed. This is a big enough area to park a pontoon boat or a speedboat, and there's also a gate right there that can swing open. But chances are you're gonna be bringing a boat through that gate there and parking it there. And you can see the grass is dead from the previous homeowners that had their boat parked there. All right, so we'll go over this way, back patio area. Got a couple things set up already. Now let's swing on into the house. Everything is a complete mess and shit show because we are doing a lot of work for right now. So currently we're in the living room, or the back living room, all right? So we have taken off the mantle. We have started painting on the ceilings. You can see there, a little bit of the house was cracked, so we had to mud it, sand it down. We've taken off all the baseboard in the house. So the house currently has about 370 linear feet of baseboard and trim that will be replaced. You can see up there we had to do some more mud work. Right now we'll go back into the master bedroom. So bedroom currently getting some work done. Again, everything is pretty much torn up and we're still painting. Take you over here into the master bathroom. So this so far is probably the cleanest area of the whole house, and it has a really, really nice shower. All right, it has a double shower head shower, super nice. So that was a big selling point for me coming into the house. I mean, this is pretty much updated. And as you guys know, as well as I do, bathrooms and kitchens are the selling point of any home. So now we're gonna walk on over into the kitchen. I'll show you the rest of the house, and then I will get to showing you guys the neighborhood. And as many of you know, if you've done any sort of research onto real estate, it's all about location, location, location. If you don't have a good location, then no one's gonna rent your stuff. Now, so far, the kitchen, it's okay. I mean, this isn't the most updated kitchen, but if we wanted to, we could take down the cabinets, repaint them. As everybody knows right now, gray light tones are sort of the trend, okay? Into obviously the sort of dining area. All right, you can see we've done a lot of patching. The previous homeowners clearly didn't really give a shit, so I do. So we're doing all the work to get this thing clean and where it needs to be. So we've mudded the walls, we've patched them. I mean, it's just endless for days, all right? Here is the next bathroom, okay? Nothing too crazy. Not gonna really do too much work in here because it's all pretty good so far. Hello. All right. So far the bathrooms were pretty much the one thing we didn't have to touch. You can see, I mean, it's just endless. I mean, this right here, this spot in the wall, okay? Had to get a new piece of drywall, cut it out, mud it back in. But when I first purchased the house, there was this little, oh, here it is, perfect. This is what was on the wall. This little kid's chalkboard. So I come into the house, I'm like, oh, what a great dad. He put this little chalkboard for his daughter to play on. I'm like, what a great guy. No, not a great guy, just a jackass. So he could cover up this massive hole in the wall. That's what he did. Rather than doing it properly, he just thought he could finagle this little chalkboard. Well, guess what? That shit don't fly. So we had to patch that up, all right? So all in all, house is coming together. And for the time being while I'm living here, we have fiber internet, 1,000 upload, 1,000 download. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for that speed. All right, so here's the last couple back bedrooms. As I said, not a whole lot going on for right now in terms of decoration, but you can see all the baseboards getting trimmed up. All right, we've already cut the ceilings, so that's gonna be coming into play. And here is the last bedroom where it's got a bunch of our stuff still sitting in here. All right, so you can see we're still doing a lot of work on this house. Now, I didn't get a killer steal on this house. I pretty much just paid fair value, probably even a little bit above market value because, again, interest rates are so low right now that everybody is just jumping on top of houses. Now, if you think about it, whether or not you buy a house a little overpriced when interest rates are so low, it pretty much offsets itself. See, if you were to buy the house, say, down 25 grand or you got 25 grand a deal, okay, but your interest rate is 5%, you're basically going to be paying what you saved on the house back in interest. So again, interest rates and home values kind of work together. So at the end of the day, whether or not you buy a little overvalued with interest rates being this low, you're basically going to make back what you spent on the house over the course of the loan by paying less interest, all right? So what I'm gonna do now is take you into the truck. We're gonna run around this neighborhood and I'm gonna show you exactly why we're starting to pick this location and what my overall game plan is for rentals in this area. It's gonna be awesome. So as we turn left off the street, you're gonna be driving up towards the lake here. Now, to the left is the back alleyway that would actually lead up right to that gate that I was showing you behind my house. So again, you have two access points to that house if you want to drive into the back or into the front. Now, as we go forward, this is the lake, obviously. Now, this lake is just one big circle, all right? And if you ever played the game Monopoly, which is one of my favorite board games to play, the whole purpose of Monopoly is to go around in a circle accumulating properties so that as people come by your property on the board, they have to pay you money. And that's the whole concept. Now, this house right here is rented out for about $2,500 a month. The one down here, this tall one that we'll be driving up to in just a second, which my finger is pointing at, that was an old house that I used to rent, and that one went for $3,000 a month. I split that with a couple buddies, all right? That house right there is for rent. That house right there is for rent. So this is a high rental area, especially being off of a lake. Let me put my belt on so this can stop dinging around. So there's a lot of rental properties all around this lake, and that's because we're on a lake. Now, the other reason why I knew that we should be picking up rental properties around this lake is for a couple reasons. Since I lived here for a little while, what I have noticed is there are endless activities to do around this lake. Each year, they have 2 or 3 fireworks shows on this lake. They have a bunch of parties around this lake, so it's just a very fun, active place to be in, and I know that's why I will be able to have people renting endlessly. Now, the couple people that do rent around this lake, I've had the luxury to speak to, and they have told me that since they put their homes up for rent on this lake, there really hasn't been a day that they have not been rented out, knock on wood. So the home property values get a little bit more expensive as we go further down this road. I'll show you a couple of them on the right. or have they done some new builds? It's really impressive work. Look at this house here. It's a very futuristic looking home, if you ask me. So there's a lot of cool properties on this lake. People want to be here. You can see that on both sides of the road, they have it, you know, chalked off so that people can ride their bikes. There's people riding their bikes, walking their dogs, you know, jogging and running. I mean, like I said, it's endless activity, so it's a very active place to be. Just down the road, they have a biking trail, so you can go, you know, biking. All right, so there's just a lot to go and do. You have 3 bars and restaurants that are located just off the lake, where you have patio seating here. We go up here and have, you know, lunch, have a couple beers all the time. All right, so there's just a lot going on. And as I mentioned, the house is really just, the lake is really just a big circle. So the game plan over, you know, the course of my lifetime is really just to accumulate properties all around this lake and keep them rented out. Okay? Again, some new builds here. Very nice work, very nice homes. The other cool thing about this lake is this bar that we'll be driving up to in just a second. You know, this area is like, it's like a vacation in the middle of the city, okay? You swoop in down this road, you hit the lake, and it's like a different lifestyle. You get away from the city a little bit, and everybody around here is super friendly. All right, I'm gonna drive you up to this bar and show you exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. Look at that house. Looks more like an office building. If you ask me, it's kind of crazy, but you know, I probably wouldn't have done that, but that thing is nuts. All right, so this here is a bar that I'm referring to. We'll pull in real quick. So this bar restaurant is super cool because they allow you to come and dock your boat up right at the restaurant, okay? So each summer we come up here and we dock our boat, and then we're able to walk in to the restaurant and the bar, grab lunch, and then there's a liquor store that's just behind this restaurant where you can dock your boat up, run in, grab your beer, and head right back out to the lake for some good fun. Now each year, right in the water there, they'll put a barge out, and that's where they have the fireworks show, and they do it one time a year for the city. And then the liquor store owner just over there, he puts on his own show 2 times a year. So we have 3 fireworks shows. On this lake, they do a party, what's called Around the World, where you get to get on your boat and you basically go in a big circle all day long, eating, drinking, and partying, okay? For anybody that likes the lake or wants a taste of the lake, it's amazing. This is gonna be a high rental property area pretty much indefinitely for the rest of my life, okay? Now, the other awesome part that I like about this whole game plan is that this area has, you know, sort of lower priced homes and higher priced homes. So it's a good mixed population. It's a great school area. Okay, there's low crime. So what I'm sticking to is renting in my backyard. It's called renting in your backyard. Staying to a location in which you already know, rather than trying to branch out, go into some new city or new state that you don't really know too much about. This should be a lot easier for me to accomplish what I want to do in terms of rental properties, because A, I've already lived here, B, I've been here my whole life. I know that it's a great school system. I know that the crime rate is low here, and I've already lived on this lake. I've talked to plenty of the neighbors around the lake that already rent out many homes, in which they've already told me that there really hasn't been a day that this hasn't been rented out. Okay, as soon as I moved out of the old house over there, it was rented out like the next week. So there's really very little downtime, as what it seems, to get a new tenant into the location. Here's another little cool thing. They have a small little beach area that in the summer, it's absolutely packed. People bring their family, their kids, they do little picnics, and you can just hang out next to the lake. You know, right over here, they have these Segway rentals, which I never did. It's kind of funny. They also have paddleboard renting going on. And believe it or not, up here on the corner, when we get there, this was one of the first medical marijuana shops to open, and it is just absolutely booming. I mean, that is an industry I would love to get into one day if I can manage it with all the other stuff I'm doing, but the amount of money that can be made in that industry is just outrageous. It's disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. These people are just bringing in massive amounts of money. So it's this corner shop right here. I'll zoom in for you. Right there, boom. It's called the Greenhouse. Again, they just are endlessly have customers coming in and out. So this alone brings a lot of people to this area. Just alone, just that one shop pretty much brings everyone to this area. So at this point in the tour, I've successfully taken you all around the road. A lot of these here are rental properties. That's a multi-family rental property there. And every once in a while, these go up for sale. And they're fairly priced. You can pretty much say the home values go around here anywhere from $150,000 to all the way up to $1 million. This here is the park that I was referring to, where people like to come and walk their dogs and hang out. And you can see that the lake is just right there. You have another bar restaurant here. Right over there, that beige building is the liquor store. So pretty much everything you need is right here. You have your bars and restaurants. You have your liquor store to get your booze. Right up that street is a gas station and a Rite Aid. So everything you need is really right here. Here's a nice little close-up of the lake. As mentioned, just a big old circle. Take you down this road. We'll take a right here. And this is the back alleyway that I was telling you about. We'll take her lefter or a Larry. And this will lead us right back to the back of my new Humble Beau. And there's the shed that I took you in at the beginning of this video. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the full tour. So I hope you guys liked that. Hope you learned something new as to why I chose to rent in this area. And I'll keep you updated on my progress on everything that we do, what we end up renting, how many houses we pick up. It's going to be a fun journey. So I hope you guys stick around to see it. And other than that, smash the thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.